Typical me, always on mute. Hey everyone, welcome to Ask Me Anything that's going on weekly. And believe it or not, this is our fourth session, and I'm pretty excited. Are you excited? React, you know, on all of these platforms. So we are currently live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. And today, I guess it's gonna be all about the questions that you have, and also, if you think about it, it's Valentine's week. So, what are your plans for Valentine's Day, or Galentine's Day, or simply a day? Anyways, so how this is gonna go about is basically we are gonna talk about all the questions that I've received so far across these platforms. So I'll be addressing them first. And then meanwhile, you can post your questions on the chat if you have anything right now on your mind. So this could be about recent AI developments, how to get started in AI, or anything with respect to AI that's like kind of bugging you, or you want to learn something, and if you want me to kind of demo it right now here, I'm ready to do that as long as it ends within this 1 hour of AMA, or I'll make a YouTube video about it. So yep, the chat box is all yours. So post your questions there. If you're watching me from LinkedIn, post your comments there. I'll be monitoring it now and then, and I'll pick questions from there and answer them as well. So, all right, moving on. And we have a surprise element towards the end, like the last 15 minutes of today's session. So, make sure that you stay tuned, because we are going to be building something for Valentine's Day, and probably you can make use of it. I know. For any of your loved ones. I'm sorry if I'm offending any of you, but it's Valentine's Day. I am in that mindset right now. Anyways, let's start with the questions that I've received so far. All right, the first question. All right, this is a huge repeated question, just because this specific theme is like going on, and so many huge tech giant leaders are mentioning this right now, like Nvidia CEO, Anthropic CEO, and Satya Nadella mentioned it in one of his interviews, and recently, like I think very recently, Sridhar also mentioned this. So all of these tech giant leaders are kind of asking software programmers to stop coding. So does it make you worried? I guess so, because a lot of you have sent me questions saying that, will AI replace most software engineers? Will I lose my job? Will I, not need to code? So, all right. So this is huge, because it's not like software engineer jobs would be the last one to get replaced. So that's what we all thought, right? Because you are the ones who are like creating AI, and working with AI, creating tools using AI. So why suddenly this specific question is all in all of your minds? Well, so if you look beyond, or like look at the nuances as to why these tech leaders are mentioning to stop coding, and especially for if you're a fresher, if you're moving on into software engineering, this would be the kind of a question that kind of bugs you the most. But you know ignoring all the hype around this, and then digging deep, if you think about it, it actually means, like, jobs will not vanish in like 6 to 12 months, like these tech giants mentioned. Because if you had used AI to code, and if you have not used AI to code before, you would know the difference. Because as exciting as it is, like, with a single prompt you get a full-fledged full stack application today. But is it scalable? Is it not with security vulnerabilities? Is it like immediately deployable? Or can a non-tech person completely code from the scratch with AI and kind of run the business? Yes and no. Because yes, you can start off with an MVP to start with, if you're trying to pitch to these VCs, or if you're trying to get funding for your product. Then yes, the MVP is possible via vibe coding. But no, with AI assisted coding, you get a lot of issues along with it. As enticing as it might be, there is a lot of issues with it. For example, let's say you're using a lot of Python packages, and the AI assisted coding tool, whichever you're using, suggests you some 8-year-old package which has not been maintained at all. So that comes with a lot of vulnerabilities. Am I right? So it's more nuanced if you think about it. I understand that AI is rapidly taking over routine coding tasks. Let's say you're doing a code review, or if you're building boilerplate codes, and if you're doing simple refactors. Yes, these current tools, they kind of like are taking over, but it makes subtle mistakes, which actually kind of requires a human expert to review them. So trust me on this when I say this, because none of the AI tools out there can run autonomously today. Because as you know, uh, all of the large language models or code generating tools or any AI tool that you take into consideration, they all hallucinate and they all make mistakes. So a human in the loop is always an essential person. It might reduce, let's say a 10-member team can become a 2-member or 3-member team. That's going to happen. I mean, that is expected in the future. But what these leaders are kind of telling all of us to do is stop coding and then use kind of these AI assisted coding tools to increase our coding speed. It's not like, you're gonna be replaced tomorrow, but if you're coding at a very slower pace, let's say a person who using AI codes it in less than few hours, but for you it takes like 2 days, then yes, you must be afraid of it, because let's face it, every organization out there would want their product to go out fast, would want to start making more money faster. So if using AI is the way, I guess that is what all of these leaders are trying to say. Because if you look at their statements very closely, they all mention, like, the software engineers must stop coding in 2026. So that is the common statement that all of these different leaders are mentioning, and this is exactly what they mean. They're not like going to replace you, or you know are kind of lay off everybody like tomorrow. But if you are not like equipping yourself with these AI tools, so and one other way as to like how you can become irreplaceable is to kind of learn your domain. So you might be a software engineer, but you are a software engineer at this organization, let's say a healthcare organization or a finance organization. So learning the domain, like why you're writing a piece of code, what is it doing to the business. So learn the business aspects of it, like where are you like currently directly contributing to the revenue. So if you're building a feature for a huge product, so how is this feature directly related to the product being sold. So you can derive all of these mappings, and you can kind of like know how much like you are contributing for that business to make money. So this is something which you can easily figure it out. And yeah, so to answer so many of you who had asked me like, will AI replace software engineers? Definitely not. Like any role out there, if you are not using AI to do whatever work you're doing faster, but also more securely, then yes, you would be replaced. But if you do use all of these AI tools and make yourselves, like more equipped with all of these knowledge, you wouldn't be replaced. So yes, I guess I've answered your question and all of your worries with respect to that. Next, something more aligned with this question, what I got was like, what skills should developers focus on if AI writes most of the code? This is again a very valid question, because like previously when you attended interviews and when you applied for this role where you're currently working as a software engineer, you were expected to know syntax, and how do you use this API, to kind of very low level skill sets. These were the kind of these were the kind of skills, or these were the kind of knowledge that was expected out of you. But today, since AI can whip up boilerplate code in like that, we just saw on a Friday AI radio show, I built my portfolio website in under, I don't know, 10 minutes with just a single prompt. So yeah, AI is like, AI is becoming more and more advanced and more easy to implement. So for you as a developer, if AI writes all of your code, what are the kind of skills that you should develop? So the first thing is like, which we already covered, which is basically learn more about the business, like how you are contributing, what kind of problems you're solving. I know you're writing, several Java routines, or creating a lot of apps, or creating automations that helps somebody create their specific app or their specific process. But how are you, what problem are you solving? So this line of code or this piece of code that you wrote today, where does it fit in? How long, let's say it's an automation script that you wrote, so how long did it take before this automation script existed, and how long it takes now? So if you understand the problem or understand the business side of it, you relate to it more, and you would be able to work with empathy, which, trust me, AI cannot do until today. I think in a very long time, that's the one skill which AI can never acquire, which is emotional intelligence and empathy. So as long as we empathize with the problem that we are fixing, or the problem that we are addressing using our kind of the coding that we do every day, AI can never replace you. So CEO of NVIDIA, Jensen, he explicitly kind of frames coding as a task, especially which the AI can do, and like problem finding or problem solving as a true purpose. So yes, basically understand which problem you're solving. What is the purpose of coding this specific chunk of code, so that you can AI can kind of handle all the keystrokes or the basic syntax. You can even review the code and fix the errors, while us humans, the software engineers, can focus on unsolved problems. I mean, that is what we all wanted all along. Am I right? Because we didn't want to be doing the basic reporting every single day. We didn't want to be doing this routine task, which kind of like burns us out before even we get to the interesting part. So now that AI can do all of these things, let's delegate them to AI. Let AI be our intern, or somebody who you hate, who can kind of do all these boring tasks for you, and find out some of the new advanced spaces or gaps in your workflow which you can kind of work on. So in a couple of 2026 software engineering trends kind of echo this specific things. So it emphasizes that human-centric skills like architecture, the communication, building domain knowledge. The most important skill of all is governance, because as I mentioned, AI leaves a lot of loopholes, leaves a lot of gray area, and there are a lot of security vulnerabilities associated with it. Because we saw last week that OpenClaw was launched, and everybody was super excited because this OpenClaw could do so many things, could automate their entire workflow. So they gave it access to their personal systems, their work systems, and so on. And it was vulnerable because a lot of state attackers were kind of able to like figure out a backdoor, and because it was connected to WhatsApp, Slack, Teams, and any communication platform there is, your Google Drive or Work Drive or anything that you use, these attackers were able to kind of invade your system and cause a cyber attack. There were, I guess, around 48,000 cyber attacks reported in just a matter of few days of launching OpenClaw. So yes, AI governance is going to be a huge skill set that any developer should know in 2026. And also, the integrators would be a huge ask in this kind of climate, because a lot of AI tools, huge. I mean, at this moment, as we speak, just yesterday or like in the last week, both Anthropic and OpenAI have launched new models like Opus 4.6, and then OpenAI has launched Codex. So basically, what the companies would want is for you to understand these fast growing, or like every minute we get something new. So the companies will want you to understand this, and then help them integrate it like as soon as possible. Because let's face it, like even if you are this most amazing technical person out there, not everybody can learn it really fast, like because of that too. Like we have like so many tools out there. We have paid tools, we have open source tools. So which is best and which is a state of the art for which use case? Which one is a state of the art? Nobody knows. So if you are someone who can experiment and read through the fine print and then kind of integrate it for the organization, then yes, you would be considered a gem, and the companies would kind of never let you go. So yeah, these are a couple of skills which you as a developer should focus on, because AI is taking over most of the coding. Then the other questions that I got were around how reliable are AI coding assistants in real world projects. So yes, this again, um, not so much. That is a single upfront one line answer that I can give. They can, yes, they can like dramatically speed up, drafting or exploration or the boilerplate, but their reliability kind of varies with how complex the task is and how they're being used. So there are several studies about this which kind of cite, kind of cite what NVIDIA CEO Jensen kind of mentioned. So it kind of shows that experienced developer, it doesn't code like an experienced developer, but then they kind of uses like naive AI tools, naive libraries, and because of this, for the experienced developers, it reduced their productivity by 19%, because these developers end up debugging these incorrect code, and then a code can on a high level can look like it's working and it can generate beautiful designs, but only when you debug, when you kind of test all the use cases, you would know that there are a lot of errors in it. So AI coding assistants are amazing if, as long as like you're experimenting with it. But if you're like using it for productionizing or like writing production codes, it's always necessary for you to kind of review them before you merge them into your repository. Or I don't know, you are going to be ending up with long weekends, not the positive kind, but the kind where you end up working on Friday nights and Saturday, Sunday. So you don't want that. All right. Now, there was this one other question. Let me just fetch it. Okay, so how are these big companies using AI for coding today? Because we saw in the news, like Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google, kind of mentioned that AI writes almost like 30% of new code, and then Anthropic claimed that Claude generates up to 90% of their code for some of their internal projects. So in both of these cases, the models are embedded across the workflow. For example, for instance, like code generation for testing, and then refactoring, and even model training in their infrastructure. But also, they are only used as simple autocompletes as well. So it's like very crucial for these organizations, because these tech giants who are like owners of all of these different AI tools still rely on human engineers to design huge architectures, and then identify the requirements needed for a specific project, and also review the output, because let's say Google makes a mistake that would cost them billions and they don't want to risk it. And also they need to enforce security and reliability, because millions of us are using their products each day, and any security vulnerability will be a huge loss for any business that's using their product. So all of these big companies still are not using 100% AI. I mean, yes, they claim to be using AI for their internal projects, where let's say you work in a team and the team's main focus is creating this X product. But then you are this automation expert in the team, and you kind of automate the process for that specific team. Let's say you automate the kind of to-do list that the team has, a task management tool, if you will. If my husband is listening to this, I think he would be laughing. But then, yes, basically, yeah, for those internal projects where you do experiments and which helps in process optimizations, for that specific team or project, then yes, go ahead with AI tools. But if it's customer facing and so many of the customers are going to be using it for their business, then it's a strict no. You can make use of it, because Google and Anthropic and other tech giants, they don't. So yeah, I think that kind of covers everything I have. I still have a couple of more questions, but before we answer that, let's see if we have any questions in the live chat. Mm-mm-mm. All right. What questions do we have? Okay, how there is another question. So let me see if I can understand correctly. So what exactly are agentic AI and AI co-workers? Oh, okay, so I understand where this question might arise from, because we have Claude Cowork, and also there is this huge hype around agentic AI. So to put it simply, agentic AI kind of refers to systems that kind of can plan and execute multi-step tasks autonomously. Like, if you want to create a feature, edit multiple files, it can run tests, and it kind of can open a pull request. Um, but rather than just acting like a chatbot, like you enter a prompt into ChatGPT and it gives you an answer. Instead of that, it receives this set of instructions and then executes it. So that is agentic AI. But what AI co-workers kind of mean is, like, there is this kind of a report. I don't know which organization released it, maybe Gartner. I cannot recollect it well. But these AI co-workers, this report identified them with identities, permissions, tool access, and able to interact with issue trackers, your repos, CI/CD pipelines, and they kind of do the real work under human supervision, basically. So if you're an engineer, what this means for you is that you kind of need to learn to manage AI agents. That is, you have to set goals, you have to set constraints, you have to set governance, kind of governance templates here and there, and also like review them from time to time. Because as important as uh, writing individual functions is, it is as important as managing these AI agents itself. So if you think about it, all of these advancements in AI and the boom in AI agents have essentially kind of made us all into managers, if you think about it. So we know we need not kind of wait for like years together to get that manager promotion. But if you think about it, we're all managers already. We manage multiple AI agents, which actually does the task for us. So let me know in the chat below if you have tried implementing OpenClaw in, I hope not in your personal systems, but have you tried OpenClaw? If not, there is a video that I'm gonna make in my, like, the next couple of days, which will come out in the next week. So I'm going to teach you how you can implement OpenClaw in a private AWS setup. It's all free. It's going to be on a free tier AWS, where you can kind of connect it with your WhatsApp or Telegram. Let's go with a test account for now. We need not create any vulnerabilities there. So yeah, look forward to that. I'll create a video, maybe do a live about it in one of the AI radio shows as to how you can set up OpenClaw in an AWS. Let me know if you would prefer a live session of me doing it, or if you want me to kind of like pre-record, edit, and then create this flashy video. So yeah, moving on to the other questions that we got. Oh, somebody's asking me, how are you? I'm fine. Hi, how are you? So yeah, the other question that we have was, oh, okay, maybe I'm a little bit fast. I'm very sorry. I try to keep my pace down, but when I'm like super excited, I tend to speak very fast. So apologies if any of you have not been following me, but yeah, I will try to keep my pace slow. So the next question was, will AI make it easier for non-coders to build software? Yes, of course, yes. In fact, as I've mentioned in the beginning of When I started this session, I did tell you that we are going to build something for Valentine's Day. So you can build it like after the session, so that you can gift it to your loved ones, whoever they are. So yes, so stay tuned for that. In fact, that uh, building thing that we're going to do, we're going to be using a simply strict no code platform for that. So yeah, no coders can build software, and they have built software. I know a lot of solopreneurs out there, so many entrepreneurs out there who have built their entire product using no code platform, and they have scaled, and today they are around making around several billions in revenue, yearly revenue. So yes, these kind of trends point toward a world where like far more people can build software using natural language, simple English, and some of these tools kind of use these different languages as well, not just English. So that language barrier is gone as well. Yep. So non-coders building software in 2026 will happen, and there are a lot of predictions which kind of tells us that in 2026 we would see 1 billion solopreneur companies. So maybe that's me. All right, that's huge aspirations, but that is a prediction as well. So we'll see what other questions we've got. How is working on AI in future? Um, Okay, so in future, if your question is like if in the future how you are like supposed to work with AI, basically we kind of like learn a lot of advancements in AI, follow a couple of YouTube channels, or follow people on LinkedIn who post about AI, including me. If you have not followed, shameless self promotion here. But if you are on top of learning AI every single day, you can make use of ChatGPT to send you daily news articles about AI. It would do. You can create tasks on ChatGPT, or if you have a Perplexity subscription, that you can do as well. So basically, there are a lot of ways where you can which you can use to stay on top of AI, and very easy as well. If you do that, and if you are like currently on trend, then and also not just knowing what's new in AI, but also knowing how you can kind of apply this to your existing workflow, to your work that you do every day. So we've seen a lot of use cases in the last couple of sessions. If you've missed the last couple of sessions and this is one of your first sessions, all the replays are available on my YouTube, so you can go check it out. Let's see one of the use cases today. So let's say in the future you are trying to kind of like learn, implement AI in your workflow, and let's assume that you're this person, you're a chartered accountant. My brother is kind of like studying to become a chartered accountant, and if he is kind of listening to this, I hope it helps him. Anyways, so as a chartered accountant, what is your day in day out? What do you do? So in order to kind of like implement any kind of an automation or optimization, you first have to understand like what is your day to day and what are you trying to kind of automate, right? So your problem statement, that is key. That is like one of the most essential things to do before even implementing. So as a chartered accountant, day in day out, one thing that I know is like you file taxes, right? So you help people who make money file their taxes, and most of these people, including me, would go to the chartered accountant only during the last minute. So let's say 31st of this month is like the last day to file my tax. I'd go around 28, 29, and a lot of people would go during that day. So filing taxes might be a simple task for a chartered accountant, let's say for an experienced chartered accountant, but you still have to do it manually, right? Like you open a portal, you log in to that user's account, you check where all you can get tax benefits for them, and then you kind of like ask the proofs or something from the from your client, and you kind of like upload all of these to the portal, and you fill a couple of forms, I guess. You file the taxes. But what if I tell you that you can actually automate all of these tasks using AI agents in specifically, to be even more specific, a browser agent. So I don't know if you have used ChatGPT Atlas. If not, I think this is the right time to kind of show you what ChatGPT Atlas can do. Let me quickly share my screen. So what this does is basically you give it instructions, and ChatGPT Atlas does all of this the task for you. So let's say I kind of want to um, open a specific. I want to fill up a specific form. Let's test that. All right. Let's say all right, or I can ask ChatGPT to apply to a job on LinkedIn. So I'm gonna do that. First, let me share my screen. All right, I hope the screen is visible. So this is how ChatGPT Atlas looks like, your regular ChatGPT. But here I'm gonna prompt, open LinkedIn and search for AI engineer role in, sorry, maybe that's remote. I prefer working from home, and apply. So let's say this is a prompt that I'm kind of like giving my ChatGPT AI agent. So I'm just gonna paste it over here. All right. So what it does, it has given me the steps, right? So what I did forget to do is like I forget to click on this agent mode. So let's say I'm like clicking on this agent mode, and I'm like logged in. I'm gonna do a logged in session because I want my ChatGPT to do this. Okay, so I think my wrong window was shared. So let me stop sharing and do the right window. Typical me, typical me. I'm gonna do the entire screen. I hope you can see my screen now. All right. So what I was doing was I pasted this. I kind of like wrote this prompt over here, open LinkedIn and search for a AI engineer role that's remote, and then apply to it. So I forgot to choose the agent mode, which I've selected here. So how you would do is, let me do this for you so it's easy. So you would pick agent mode from here, which is this. It has been selected. So now I'm gonna kind of like copy the prompt and paste it over here. Oops. Paste it over here and click enter. Now this is in agent mode, and let's see what ChatGPT agent is gonna do. So it's starting to open LinkedIn and find a remote AI engineer jobs, and it's gonna apply. So it's analyzing. Um, yeah, it has like opened the job site, and it is, I guess, searched for AI engineer as well. Okay. My hands are free. I'm not doing anything. It's all AI that's been doing these application stuff. So what it's currently doing is setting up a search query. Oh, it's clicking on, oh, that's my number. Okay. So I did stop sharing. I did share a confidential information on live. I hope you didn't see my number, but even if you do, that's totally fine because I mean, if you have any AI questions, you can call me, I guess. But anyways, I am gonna crop that off when I upload this episode. But let's go back. But you did understand, right? Like what an AI agent can do. Basically, a lot of stuff. So it can automatically open and apply for jobs. Again, today we learned a very important lesson that when you're using AI, you have to be very cautious about all of these security stuff because I mean AI did not actually kind of reveal things for me. The AI agent did the task that I asked it to do, but then it revealed my phone number on live across all of these multiple platforms, which is kind of a blunder on my end if you think about it. So yes, if we've been covering the chartered accountant. I mean, my phone number is available on my website and everywhere, so no big deal. But If you are someone who's like very privacy concerned and don't want your phone number to end up anywhere, I would say that be cautious. Anyways, getting back to our chartered accountant example. So as a chartered accountant, as I applied for LinkedIn jobs, you can kind of think about it as like filling a form or like finding taxes or even finding where you can apply the tax benefits. So yep, that is basically simple automation that you can do. So finding the problem statement that as to where you can implement the automation is like key. And once you do that, how you can implement it, AI can help you. AI can help brainstorm and get you ideas as to how you can implement it. So yeah, I hope I've answered your question that just came in. Let's check if we have any other questions. Ask me anything about what? I'm new here. Oh, we have a new audience. Awesome. So this is ask me anything about AI. So basically, you can ask me any question that you have with respect to AI, or if you need more details, you can check the description. I've mentioned in detail as to what this session is about. So we've been covering so far the questions that was previously asked, and also a couple of questions that came in on these different platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. So yeah, we'll check what other questions we've had. There is one other question. Students learn better without replacing human teachers. Oh, how can AI help students learn better without replacing human teachers? All right. Okay. I don't think AI would ever replace human teachers because if you think about it, AI, yes, you can learn a lot of stuff faster. I personally kind of use Notebook LM to learn multiple concepts really fast. So if you've attended like my second Ask Me Anything session, I would have like dug deep into how Notebook LM works. But basically, yes, you can learn fast using AI. But is it going to replace teachers? Well, that is a huge exaggeration. It could kind of replace the existing online trainers who kind of train on specific niche skills, because these are the skills that you can kind of get it out of the internet or get it out of the out of Notebook LM, for instance. But if you're a school teacher or a college professor, no, you are not going to be replaced. I highly doubt it. So I hope I've answered your question. But as a teacher, how you can kind of leverage AI so that your students don't get bored during your class is basically make use of these AI tools. There are a lot of AI powered learning management solutions out there which you can kind of use and make your classroom sessions even more interesting to start with. So your because if you think about it, the way learning has been, like since the beginning of time, even if you're not kind of like moving way beyond behind or like uh, too much back in the history, but if you think about it, we had this blackboards where teachers would write, especially math and in history, if you had to remember some year or dates or something. That slowly evolved into these projectors where you played slides instead of writing. That slowly evolved into playing videos, history lessons in terms of videos. Those were my favorite times. I think that is still relevant today. But if you cannot find any videos online about a specific topic, now you can create videos on your own. There are so many tools out there which kind of like leads you to kind of text to video, prompt to videos tools out there which you can experiment and kind of build tools around it. If I mean, that's what I'm trying to tell you. So if you're building generating videos that explains a specific concept, I think Notebook LM again, I'm stressing more about Notebook LM because it's free. Anybody can use it and it has so many features. So if you are not still using Notebook LM in what date is today, February 8th, 2026, you are missing out. So go check out Notebook LM like immediately after today's session. So Notebook LM kind of can create these videos for you. You just upload your PDF files or your lesson plans or your actual lessons onto Notebook LM and it can generate videos for you. So as a teacher, you can kind of help your students learn stuff way more easier, because you kind of stop losing their attention in like 17 minutes after your class starts. So that's how, as a teacher, you can kind of make your students interested in coming to your class. So yeah, I hope I've answered your question. Now let's check if we have any other questions. Okay, so keep those questions coming. Now, since it's like almost like towards the end of the session, I'm gonna help you, kind of show you what you can do to gift someone you love during this Valentine's Day. Are you ready? Because I'm super excited. So I hope you are excited as well. All right, let me quickly share my screen again. And this time I'll hide all the secrets that's currently open. So yeah, let me go to the tab and kind of share. Yes, I hope you can see. So as you can see, this specific product, it's called Lovable. So you would have seen it on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, everywhere, where you kind of like, heard about this product at least, or some of you might have even used it. So this specific product is a no-code vibe coding platform, but it's not entirely free. I mean, if you sign up, you get 10 credits, not immediately, but then every day the 5 credits kind of gets added to your account, and it gets refilled every day. So these 5 credits are kind of enough, if you would ask me, to build what we're going to build today. But if you're like looking for more credits, or if you are just using Lovable for the first time, you can kind of make use of this specific QR code that I've displayed on the screen, or let me also put it in the chat. So if you kind of use this to sign up, you get 10 extra credits. So yeah, I've put it in the chat across platforms. So you get 5 regular credits, but also like 10 extra credits. So yeah, it's available on the chat as well, and it's also available as QR code. So make sure you sign up using this link. So you get 10 credits, and I also get 10 credits. So with 10 credits, we can do wonder. All right. Yep. So as promised, for this Valentine's Day, we are going to be building something pretty cool using Lovable. Okay. So as we already saw in my Friday live, that before you go on to any no-code platform, you kind of like get your actual prompt from another chatbot like Gemini or ChatGPT. So let me share that screen now. One second. I'm opening ChatGPT and taking you to that screen. All right. So as you can see here, I don't have any plan in my mind. I mean, I do have plan in my mind, but then let's see what ChatGPT can come with. So I'm going to prompt ChatGPT with this prompt. Hey, I'm trying to build a cool tool for this Valentine's Day to gift my husband. So what kind of idea would you suggest that I can make use of Lovable to build it? So it is very interactive, and it also like kind of impresses my husband. So this is a prompt that I'm going to be giving ChatGPT. All right. So while it's working out, answer me real quick. How many of you still type your prompt in ChatGPT or Gemini, or do you just give voice prompt just like how I did now? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. All right. So ChatGPT has come out as a oh, oh, it knows my husband's name well. The Arthi AI time capsule for Google. That's an idea. So this is not a card. It's not a slideshow. It's an experience that unfolds. So a private conversational AI space that unlocks layers when he interacts with it. Cool. So it has some kind of a memory engine. The day we laughed most. Oh, all right, all right. The hidden compliment system. This is where he melts. Scattered tiny Easter eggs. Like this moment exists because of you. Okay, wow. This I think turns out to be a very complicated thing because apparently, I guess I would have to give a lot of um, data about me into Lovable, which I'm not going to be doing, especially live. So let's do something simple, or let's do the same thing with mock data. Awesome. So give me, oh, why am I typing like a peasant? Give me a prompt that I can use in Lovable to build this. Also, feel free to populate mock information about everything that you need to know. So, yep. While ChatGPT is giving me my prompt, yeah, let me explain Lovable to anyone who has not used Lovable before. So basically, you have this specific window over here where which looks exactly like your ChatGPT. So this is where you kind of enter your prompt. This is your prompt entering space, and you can choose or unchoose this plan stuff. So if you click on plan, your Lovable's AI would plan the whole thing and give you an implementation plan. And only as you when you approve it, it kind of starts implementing it. So that is what this plan means. So it's always necessary to plan things out before building it. Otherwise, you would end up, losing a lot of credits. So yes, we click on plan, and if you have anything that you can attach, so you can attach. If you have any design specifications that you want to give it, you can click on design, and you can select from a lot of different themes that are out here. So you can choose anything that you want, and also you can connect a lot of databases, MCP servers, and also like other connectors out there. Like you can connect scraping, Firecrawl or Superbase as a database, or Stripe integrations if you want your product to be kind of payable and so on. So this is how Lovable kind of works. Now let me bring my prompt from ChatGPT. So all right, yeah, let me just copy. This is the master prompt. So you are a private, emotional, intelligent, interactive, blah blah blah. So I'm just gonna copy this whole thing and copy it. So it is giving me a pro tip. Choose conversational, yeah, and memory state. Keep UI minimal, blah blah blah. Okay. All right. Are you ready to paste this inside Lovable? Because I am. So I'm just like pasting the prompt in here and clicking on send. We'll also track like how many credits it's using for creating this whole thing. So yeah, let's do that. Oh, it has kind of, it's asking me a couple of questions. That's cool. Isn't it cool that this whole AI can kind of like build this whole thing for you? If that QR code is kind of in the middle and hiding you, I'm just like gonna put it on the side. Um, all right, the first question that we have is like, for the personalized letter in chapter 4, should it be pre-written by you or with placeholders filled in, or like AI generation dynamically based? Okay, I think I will do it AI generated for now because it's live and I don't want to share anything private. So for the 24-hour countdown in chapter 5, should the app actually become inaccessible after 24 hours, or just display messages poetic gesture? For the demo purposes, I think I'll do a poetic one. Any preference for the visual mood or aesthetic? Okay, this is basically how the design needs to be. Let's do a starry night, shall we? And who are you building for? Client? Myself. It's just a personal project. So yes, these are the questions that I've answered. I'm going to submit. So now the Lovable's AI is thinking, and all right, it has everything it needs to design it. Now it's in the planning phase and it's kind of planning it. So while it's planning it, let's discuss about what you would do for Valentine's Day. I mean, would you even like consider, you know, oops, sorry about the noise. This Noise is basically the plan. Oops. Basically means that the plan is ready, which is over here. Let's open the plan. Yeah, it's open. Let me zoom out. Okay, so this is basically a time capsule for Google. So this is a visual design and how the flow and features are said to be. So chapter 1, chapter 2 with all these pre-populated things. Um, and backend would be on Lovable Cloud, which you can basically change it if you don't want Lovable Cloud. And whatever response he gives, that would also be stored there. So again, here no login, no accounts would be used because this is a personal project and he's going to be using it immediately. So basically, you would go through all of these. If you have any suggestions or any modifications to it, you would just type in the prompt, click enter, and it would modify the plan and send it back to you. So now that we have the plan ready, I'm just going to click approve, and it is doing the magic. So it's currently in code mode and creating all these implementation which we all agreed to. So yeah, so where would Lovable? Okay, now and then it would ask you to some kind of permissions. So if you can enable cloud, you can allow, and also you can mention that ask each time or always allow depending on your preference. So for this demo purposes, I'm choosing always allow, but it's always ask each time is the best option over here. All right, so we have enabled it. Anyways, while this is building, we could kind of like look at different things, that different icons that are over here. So this cloud is basically called the cloud. This is Lovable Cloud, and we have already enabled it. And if you have a Supabase database, you can connect your Supabase over here. And this is where you design all the design elements, change your theme, and so on. And this is where your actual code lives. So all of these code was created from the single prompt that we have pasted. So this is your plan file which it showed you, and your favicon, you can change this as well, and your some kind of a placeholder files, your robots.txt file where it allows all the agents to kind of track your website, and all of the different codes. If you're a technical person, you can kind of go through it, but we are going to vibe code today, so I'm not going to go through code today. And analytics is where when you kind of publish your site, it shows you how many visitors you had, where all they clicked, all those analytics for your project. So moving on, we'll see where this specific project is right now. So it's still building, and it has also appreciated us. What a beautiful and thoughtful gift idea. Thank you. Anyways, while this is building, yeah, it's going through the checklist that it has generated for itself. While this is happening, let me check if you have any questions in the chat. Thank you. Okay, somebody has asked, will AI create more jobs or replace them in the future? This is a tricky question. I mean, kind of, because yes, AI might replace a couple of them, but it may not replace all of them, as we've covered in the beginning of today's episode. So I did mention that the kind of skills that are going to be in demand in 2026, like AI governance, knowing domain knowledge, understanding the problem that you're solving, connecting to the business side of it. So if you kind of like are this person, your job might not be replaced, but it is kind of going to create a lot of new jobs, because AI governance specialist, that is a job that you can think of. And there is this, many companies can have kind of like hired people to test and review the code that is being generated by AI, which again is very important because you cannot trust everything that comes out of AI. Oh, all right. Before we see this is very intriguing, but then let me complete my answer to that question. So, no, or not all jobs will be replaced, but some jobs will be replaced, which do routine tasks every day. two new jobs will be created, like AI governance specialist, integration specialists, someone who understands business side of things, like, and explains them to developers, kind of like PMs, but who also understand a lot of business side of things. So these kind of new roles are also like set to evolve. So, and there was this one tweet by Gary Vee, if you follow him. He's this entrepreneur who has sold millions, I mean, many businesses and has made billions from it. So he mentioned that electricians would be in high demand in the future because all of these AI models out there, and all they demand is electricity because they have to run these high powered machines with GPUs in it. So if you're an electrician, I guess you would be in high demand moving forward. But anyways, any new thing would ideally kind of end some jobs and create new ones. So yeah, I hope I've answered your question. And somebody has said, keep going, one day you will achieve. I think this is probably for the me becoming a solopreneur, a $1 billion solopreneur in 2026, I guess. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Anyways, let's make this full screen and check out the result that Lovable has created for us, shall we? So, all right, as I said, hi Google, and let me do full screen here. All right. Hi Google, this isn't a gift. It's a memory that learned how to talk. I'm gonna begin. So before we begin, tell me one word that describes you. Let's say loving. Continue. Now, interesting. Loving fits us better than you think. Chapter 1, the beginning. Every story has a start. Ours didn't begin loudly, it began honestly. Do you remember what first made you feel safe with me? Let's say, yes, I remember that moment mattered more than you know. I noticed how you listened without fixing. The small things. Love is mostly invisible, it lives in the small things. Okay. A habit of yours I secretly admire, a moment you probably forgot, something you do when you're tired. Hmm. Okay, let's click on the first one. The way you double check things, not because you doubt yourself, but because you can. Okay. I mean, these are random things, right? I did not give any input. All right. A moment you probably forgot. That random evening when you stayed back just to keep me company, you didn't make it a big deal. That's why it was. Something you do when you're tired, you go quietly, but you still make sure, okay, it kind of vanishes. I think we'd fix that. Okay, the hard pause. This isn't about just about the good days. What do you think is the hardest thing you've carried this year? Hmm, I don't know. I don't know what my husband would feel. I'll probably enter stress. Continue. Thank you for trusting me with that. You don't give yourself enough credit for carrying it with grace. That is true. The letter that learns. Okay, this is chapter 4. I want to write you a letter, but not a generic one. Okay, I'm ready. One thing you're proud of, but don't say out loud. I'll say me. Oh, okay, I'm putting my name there. One thing you hope this year gives us. Hmm. Peace. And one word you would use to describe yourself on your best day. Hmm. Handsome. I know these are shallow answers, but we're just testing here. So write my letter and it's writing something for you. Wow. Dear Google, it's late and the house is finally quiet. I've been sitting here thinking about blah, blah, blah. This is a love letter from me, but written by AI. And there is this one last thing. What is this? I want to show. There is a time capsule and will close in 24 hours. Not because it has to, but because moments matter more when they don't stay forever. Oh, this is so sweet, don't you think? Awesome. Okay. So what do you think about this? This is cute. If you are thinking about last minute gift ideas to kind of like gift your loved ones, this is just something that an idea which was given by ChatGPT, but think of what you can do with the with you building with your own idea. So yes, the link is in the chat box. You can click on that to get extra credits. Oh yeah, we thought like how many credits would this use, right? So going back to Lovables app, you can also check how many credits it used. I think you can check it from somewhere. Credits used is 3.50, which is basically less than 5. So if you had like used my link, you would have 10 credits, which is 15 credits extra. So you would have been left with 7 more credits, which you can kind of make use of to tweak and build your own Valentine's Day gift, a digital one, if you will, for your loved ones this time. All right, I think we are right on time. It's almost 9:59, and I think we will end our session here. Don't worry if there are any unanswered questions that I'd left not answering. I'd definitely cover it in my newsletter that I'll send out by tomorrow morning, if possible. And yep, I think all right. Thanks. Thank you so much for joining. And I hope you had an awesome Sunday night with a lot of new learning. I hope you learned something new about the specific tool over there. You can scan the QR code, or you can kind of uh, click on the link that's in the comments from wherever you're watching it. And yeah, basically, good night or good evening if you're from a different time zone, or good afternoon. I don't know. Anyways, this is me signing off. I'll see you next week with another AMA session, or tomorrow at 7 p.m. in our regular AI radio show session. So tomorrow is Monday, and we'll be covering a lot of AI news that's kind of like been topping so hard this week. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Until then.